It's time for the Leadership Lunch Break with Joy Jackson of Speaking of Joy. Let's tune in for today's discussion with Emily Maclin.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the Leadership Lunch Break. Let me tell you, this lady I was talking to, we were having a whole conversation, and then I looked down, it was 12 o'clock, and I was like, okay, we got to go. So thank you all so much for tuning in to the Leadership Lunch Break, where we talk about leadership in so many levels and in so many ways. And as you know, I've always said leadership is not just about a position or title. It is about responsibility. It's about influence, and it's about a total person. So most of us are leaders, whether we have a title of leader or not. If you're a mother, if you're a wife, if you're a preacher, teacher, pastor, community leader, anything pretty much, you have people that are under your influence that are around you. And so leadership is definitely something that we want to focus on. And let me tell you, you could be a great leader, but if your money ain't right, you're going to lead yourself and everybody else into the abyss of debt and all that other stuff. So I am so excited to have with me one of my line sisters. Listen, let me tell you, my chapter, the Alpha Psi chapter of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, Tennessee State University, got some women doing some major things. And so I want to introduce all of you to Mrs. Emily Maclin, and she is a money coach. Hey, Emily.
Hey. Thank you so much, Joy, for having me on.
Absolutely. Thank you for joining. Tell everybody a little bit about yourself, who you are, where you're from, and what you do.
So as Joy mentioned, we are line sisters. We have known each other for 20 years.
Yeah, just say 20. Don't give it anything else. Yeah, don't give it anything else.
I feel like I'm too young to do anything for 20 years.
Yes.
A young 10 to 40.
Yes, ma'am.
And for the past 20 years, I've been in corporate finance. I've been in roles like accounting. That's my background, where I started. I got my degree from Tennessee State in accounting. I have an MBA. And as I mentioned, I've worked 20 years in corporate finance as an accountant, a business analyst, a financial analyst, you name it. I've kind of done it in the corporate world. But the corporate world is not doing it for me anymore.
All right.
I have decided, or I won't even say I decided, I will say I have been called to entrepreneurship as a money coach, serving women over 40 who are looking to master the basics of personal finance. So that's where I am today. I am building a financial coaching firm, trying to support the women who are like me, women who may have messed up in the past with their finances. Mm-hmm. And now they want to get on the path to wealth and well-being, not just wealth, but being whole all the way with their money, their relationship with money, and really building that legacy, that financial legacy that they want to be proud of.
Absolutely. So first of all, kudos to you for doing that, because money is not something that we talk a lot about. I mean, in general, and I think people in general, we don't spend time talking about money, and we sure don't talk about it if we're not doing well.
Right.
So it's a blessing for people like you who recognize that there's a need to have open and transparent conversations about money, and then giving us tools necessary to do it. So first, tell me, how did you get to this point? Like you said that you've been called to do it. So tell us about how that worked. What happened? What happened that made you call? And how did you answer?
Well, I'm still answering, by the way.
Okay, me too. Yeah, me too.
That call really came. So let me just back up a little bit just to kind of tell you. Like I said, I'm serving those who feel like they have made mistakes in the past that they maybe feel like they don't or can't overcome. Yeah. And I understand all the emotions that come with money, the shame, the regret, the guilt, because I have been there. Mm-hmm. And I have overcome a really bad, I'm not even going to go into the money mistakes that I had made, but helping myself to overcome those money mistakes and really getting clear on what it is that I've been called to do in life, the vision that God has given me, that has really sparked the desire in me to help others do the same. And I'll tell you, it was after my third kid, about 2017, when I just had a lot of distraction in my career. and thinking, oh, well, maybe I just go to another company and
Yeah,
start, a new career and, grow. I still thought I wanted to do the corporate ladder, but it became very clear that that's not what it was.
Yeah.
That was not what was in here stirring up
Uh-huh.
so much dissatisfaction. And, I remember I was driving one day and I remember just this whisper, it just came to me, a financial coach. And I'm like, I didn't even know what a financial coach was.
Yeah.
It's kind of like one of those things, like, because what can you do? What can you do? And there was just something inside that was saying, corporate America ain't it. I couldn't even vocalize it. I remember watching a TED Talk one day, and I was driving back from a business trip, and I have a 5-hour trip by myself, and I was listening to one of my favorite TEDx talks, and by Scott Dinsmore, and he was just talking about I can't even think of it. But anyway, he had a really impactful message about really stepping into where you were supposed to be and knowing when you're not where you're supposed to be. And that message really, really touched me like that. And then, it was just kind of one step at a time. I was like, okay, well, what is a financial coach? Well, let me find. I remember reading this article that was like 10 pages long about what a financial coach was. And I remember reaching out to the author and say, this letter or this article helped me so much. I appreciate you sharing so much. He reached out to me, got in a Facebook group and another Facebook group, and then just started connecting with people. And then like the steps just started to unfold and I became a financial coach. But, it was just kind of just following that inkling. I didn't know.
No. But I think that's awesome because so many times we all have that, like all of us have that. I always say full, but not fulfilled. So you're not doing bad. Your life is good. You got money. You got the things that anybody else who would look at you would say, I don't know why you tripping. I don't know why you're not interested, because everything looks like it's going well for you. And then, hey, Beverly, hey, Beverly. And many of us get to a situation where we're like, as much as I have, it's not enough. And so we spend our lives either running from not enough or going to not enough, but never knowing what not enough is. So I think it's awesome that you spent time and are still spending time, because I do believe entrepreneurship is never a destination, it's a journey. And if you've ever arrived at your spot, then that just means it's time for you to do some more or do something different, because that's it. And so, hey, Bridget has just launched into entrepreneurship literally like a few weeks ago. Yes. And so it's super important. And Emily, I appreciate that about you, because even in our conversation, we talked about it, and I know it's a spiritual thing. I know it's a connecting and a calling. And so first, before we even talk about money, listen, if you have a calling, you want to answer, because there are people in this world who are waiting on you and what you have to offer in this world. So you got to do it, because if you don't do it, you'll find yourself so unhappy, right?
Oh, so unhappy.
Yes. So listen, okay, Emily, we're gonna do this easy, okay? Because this is a tough conversation for many. Money is an issue for many people. Why do you think so many of us have not even money problems? We're not gonna talk about the mistakes. We're gonna talk about, why do you think money is something that we're just so afraid of?
Well, first of all, nobody ever taught us anything about money. Many of us are learning how to handle money, how to be with money, how to think about money. We're learning in our 30s and 40s after we have made major mistakes in our 20s and early 30s.
No, that's true. That's so true.
And the second thing is, there is so much shame associated with money, because many of us, we are not where we think we should be.
Yeah.
And we just kind of drown ourselves in the shame of that, and we don't ask for help when there is help available.
Yeah.
And so just being stuck in that shame, and again, going back to those money mistakes, the mindset keeps us stuck.
Yeah.
That keeps us stuck in those mistakes, stuck feeling guilty, stuck feeling regret. Oh, I shouldn't have did this. I shouldn't have did that. And we just should ourselves to death. But it's really the mindset that keeps us stuck. This is what I have found as a money coach, and just as much as I have studied about money, and I have an Instagram page where I'm most active on, and I have decided that I'm not really posting any of the 5 ways to build a budget or 5 ways to save more money, because you know what? People don't need more financial information. They need to revamp their mindsets. They need to fine tune their mindsets to help them with the money that they have. We even have enough money. That I don't have enough it's not actually true for the majority of people.
That's deep. Listen, because all of us have said, I don't have enough money. Or when here it is. When I make more money.
When I make more money.
When I make more money, I will. And so that's an interesting way to look at it, is that we actually, most of us, for the most part, have enough money. So then what's the problem?
It's the mindset. It's the mindset.
Okay, that makes sense.
The mindset. Another thing is, many of us, the only time we ever heard people talking about money when we were growing up is when somebody was saying, I'm so broke, or I ain't got enough money to go buy this. Mom, I would like to go to McDonald's. What your mama say?
I ain't got no money. How we gonna pay for it?
Do you got McDonald's money? I got a money tree in the back. We have gotten all of these negative messages about money from when we were yay high up to now. And that's all that we have in our subconscious mind about money. Money is bad. You know, we're believers. How have some believers misconstrued the word?
Yeah. We stay with the money is the root. Money is the root of all evil.
What? Evil.
Yeah, money is
You know, people say the term filthy rich. Oh, they filthy rich.
Why is it bad?
Filthy. That's like a mental message. I don't want to be filthy, so I don't want to be rich. But that's not even the truth. So we have all of these beliefs and all of these thoughts around money that are not even true.
Yeah. Well, listen, let's clarify the scripture. So the scripture says money is the root of all evil, but it's really talking about the love of money. It is not talking about, we, although it doesn't say it, it's not that money's a bad thing. No. Jesus wants you to earn money, because when you earn money, then you can give to him like you're supposed to. So listen, get you some money, but it's not the money, it's the love of it. And it's the desire to chase it above all things. It's the desire to put it in front of and make decisions based on it. So, and even the love of money is not a bad thing, because all of us want to be financially wealthy. I mean, we all over hashtagging financial freedom, hashtagging wealth, hashtag. So even having the love of money, it's when the love of money begins to be the motivator, or it begins to become why you're doing it, and you're no longer considering other things. And you're making bad decisions to chase after it. So let's free people of that. It is okay for you to want to have money.
You see this verse right here, Deuteronomy 8 and 18? Y'all go look that up. Somebody look it up and put it in the comments and tell me what it says.
Listen, we're going to put it there.
God does not want us to not have money.
Okay, I got to spell Deuteronomy. Okay, yeah. Deuteronomy. 8, got it, 18. Okay, so we're going to look that up.
Yeah, somebody look that up and put it in the comments. If you are a believer and you read the word of God, you just can't believe that he doesn't want us to have money. Like Joy said, he just does not want us to put money above our relationship with him, above our relationship with people, above our relationship with ourselves. Money is simply a tool. It is a tool that expresses the value of a transaction in the earth.
Hey, I like that. Money is a tool that expresses the transaction in the earth.
The value. Yeah, that is awesome. It.
That is absolutely awesome. And Beverly said, and I think this is true, and kudos to you, Beverly. She said, I still have a poverty mindset as a professional.
Many professionals do, because here's the thing. Many of us, and when I say us, I'm talking brown, Black people, we grew up in poverty situations. We didn't grow up with silver spoons. I'm not saying all of us didn't, but I'm saying a lot of us did. So as soon as we become professionals, we get our MBAs, we get our doctorates, we get our MEDs, and we are making money. Like we are making more money than our parents made. We are first generation college graduates. We are first generation wealth builders. Well, guess what? With us being first generation, all of that, this is the first time we're handling this type of money.
Yeah.
And many of us, let me just give you a quick science lesson with how the brain works. The brain works where we have all of these files in the back of our brain that tell us how we handle things. The brain wants to do three things: seek pleasure, avoid pain, and do everything as efficiently as possible. So if in the past, when you got money or when you had money, and the way you handled money or the way your parents handled money, you saw that. You saw the worry, the anxiety, the it's not enough. You saw all of those messages, and those became permanent files in your brain that now you still access those files those same way. So when you get $5, when you get $10, you go and spend it, and it's gone before you even get it, because that's how you've been programmed to view money, to handle money. So until you, as a professional who's now making six figures, because most of the clients that I serve are making six figures to multiple six figures, high five-figure professionals, and they are still battling this relationship with money because we just have this reference to our past and what our past tells us that how we're supposed to handle money. And it takes a conscious effort to really reprogram your brain.
Yeah, absolutely. Beverly said it's a learned behavior for sure. And you know what I think too, Emily, I think that the if we're not careful, what'll happen with the generation after us and our children that we're building this wealth and legacy for, because we've done so well, we are now giving our children so much that we're not teaching them how to build wealth. I mean, some of us are in that state of, I never had it, so I'm gonna give everything to my kids. So we don't teach our children how we're managing our money, how we're investing, how we're saving. We are now making them entitled. So I see a generation of children, if we're not careful, that we won't educate them on money, not for the same reasons we were uneducated. Ours was because of lack. I feel like we're going to create a generation of young people who have so much that they don't even understand how money works. Like, it's funny, I played with my girls Friday, the power went out. We were trying to find something to do, Jesus. So we played Monopoly, right?
Yeah.
And so sitting down with them, and they're 7 and they can count, but sitting down with them and playing Monopoly Junior gave them an idea of how money works. Because in school we teach you quarter, nickel, dime, dollars, but we never teach you how it works. We just teach you that this is money and we call it out. And it's so funny. Steven, my husband, was doing a horrible job in Monopoly. So Shelby slid him some money and said, listen, just hold on. And it was so funny that she picked that up. But what it says is, if we teach them how to value the value of money more than just the physical value. You know what I'm saying? Like, if we teach people more about what money is used for, especially our children, because they're not going to have to work as hard as we did. They're going to get it. We're leaving trust funds. We're leaving those things. We're building college funds. So how do you prepare your children when they don't lack?
So first of all, I want to say Shelby at least is getting a generosity lesson. She is sharing her money.
She got Lord, we thank God for one of them. Yes, that's gonna give, and it shall be given unto you. Amen. Yeah.
So here's the thing: when you are teaching those financial literacy lessons, you have to teach or when you're teaching financial literacy, you got to teach the lessons too. You got to teach the humility. You got to teach the generosity. You got to teach the just the understanding that money is a tool.
Yeah.
Money is a tool. That's it. And it can be gone on any day.
Yeah, but
we can't be so dependent or just so high on having having a lot of money. I think one way that we can really teach them is using money and demonstrating how money can make life better for other people.
That's good.
Money helps us live in our big house. It helps us drive our fancy car. It helps you get your Nintendo and all of the things that you have in your room. But money is also a way for us to give in a way that helps others live a better life.
Good. That's good. That's good.
You
And
know,
we don't,
teaching
that's
lessons,
good.
those life lessons that come along with money. It is our responsibility of us as parents that are leaving these trust funds and that are leaving these inheritances, which we need to do. We also got to give the life lessons that go along with it. And you know, it's little things, and I really have to get on my husband because I'm very conscious of the things that we do for our kids. You know, he's like, just go buy them a bunch of stuff. I'm like, no, you know, and even little things like allowances. The way we administer allowances will impact how our children view money. And one example of that is if you, and I've decided how I want to do allowances, but if you're giving allowances to your children for getting straight A's, they start to tie that worthiness.
I was that one. I was that one. Yes.
And, you know, and I just decided, well, everybody's going to get a flat rate, so they don't tie my effort or my work to money. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, so it's just little things that we're going to do or that we do and how we handle money. Of course, is how they're going to learn, but we have to be more intentional when it comes to the money lessons that we're teaching them. First of all, they just can't. I mean, they're going to learn by watching, but we got to give a little context around the things that we are doing with money, so they know, so they get those lessons.
Okay, flat rate. I like that. So when should I listen? Now is my session. When should I be giving these children money?
You know what? You can actually start now. I have these little jars back here for my kids. They all have a spend, a give, and a save. So any money that they get, they know they got three choices that they can do with it. Off top, and my kids are 4, 6, and 9. So anytime they get money, like for birthdays, for Christmas, they know, okay, we got to divide it up 3 ways.
Listen, y'all just got a free lesson right there. Because that is so, and you know, people like me who are money conscious, you know, we're aware, but we don't have the strategies. I think that's where some people fall too, it's not that I know how to budget, I know how to save. I know those things, you know, I know the importance of credit. I'm managing money fine. But I may not be managing it well because I don't know the strategy. So even something like that, my children have a piggy bank, but guess what? It's one piggy bank. Everything goes in it. So the idea, now we teach giving, but we don't teach it from I don't say we don't, but I've never thought about it from a financial perspective. We teach giving like with the stuff we have. So we're about, you know, giving back with our time and our talent, but not our treasure. I think that's super important to say. If you want to leave a legacy, you got to teach the lesson. That is, listen, I just got my session. Hope y'all got yours. No, because those are the things that are most powerful. Is saying how this is what money is for, and this is how we're going to use it, and creating that structure. Because what we teach them is what they'll do. Exactly, and they're going to watch, but what they're going to learn by watching what we do more than anything. So. That is awesome. Well, listen, I got another question because this is one I know people talk about all the time. So mindset is huge. We know most people struggle with the idea of money and where they think about money and what money having or not having means for them. So it's an esteem issue. It's all of that. But the other challenge is when two people who are really in love and want to walk this thing out together called marriage. And they get into this thing, and no matter how much premarital counseling you have had, it is not enough when you really blend the house. I'm not even talking about money. When you blend the house, what have you seen has been a biggest challenge for people who come into relationship or covenant together as it relates to money?
So let me just go ahead. I'm just going to go ahead and put my own business out here because, you know, I haven't really coached a lot of couples.
Okay.
And, but what I do know about me is I've been married 14 years, almost. It'll be 14 years next month. And it probably took us a good decade.
Amen, sister.
On the same page.
Hey, let me tell you, it is, it'll be 12 years for us next month. And I will say it's taken us about 10 years. It's taken us about 10 years. Why do you think that is? Why do you think that it is such I got a spiritual reason why. You know, I think part of it is the enemy doesn't want successful marriages. And because money is the root of all evil, and that's the mindset that most of us have, he can attack finances in a marriage and in a ministry, in general. Because if he can get you focusing on lack or disagreeing, then he can keep chaos in the situation. So you never ever overcome and become the ministry in the home that God wants you to be. So I think that, I mean, spiritually, I think that, you know, you got to realize it's just God is not the author of confusion. So Job said that gives hope. It does. Yeah. Because I believe that. I just truly believe right out of the gate, it's a ploy of the enemy to keep us distracted.
Well, but I go ahead and go home on that, because that's a word right there.
I do. I truly do. Hey, Crystal, I truly do. I believe that we're focused on the money, but we're not focused on the root. And the root has more to do with the enemy using that as a strategy. And because it's such a personal thing, I have my money, you have your money, I got my way, you got your way, I'm the spender, I'm the set, whatever it is, we focus on that versus the unity and the coming together. So that's my spiritual reason, I think. But why do you think, like, whether it's culturally, mindset, why do you think that's such an issue in marriages?
You know what? You done said it all right there. And I'll just expand on that just a little bit. Think about why I agree with what you said. Mm-hmm. Think about how powerful we would be, how different this world would be if believers joined together in holy matrimony, and not only just holy matrimony, but have powerful faith and authority and resources.
Yeah.
So I wholeheartedly believe that it is spiritually what you said, because when you got resources in this world, then you can go and do the things that God has called you to do.
He's called you to do. Yeah.
You know, and so it definitely is a spiritual attack from that, you know, trying to stop, you know, us building the kingdom. But when you look at it from a natural perspective, I mean, you said it. You got this person A over here who was raised his way. Yeah. He saw his parents doing things. He learned things along the way from his peers, from his parents, from his aunts and uncles. And then you got person B. She learned a whole different set of feelings, emotions, and actions and thoughts around money. Yeah. And then you're trying to bring them together.
Yeah. No. Oh, listen, I amen, hallelujah, ring the bell, because that's something I think we don't talk about in the church first. Like we go through the sessions, you know, everybody goes through the sessions so you can get married, but we don't really talk about the mindset of money in those sessions. Like even when Beverly said she has a poverty mindset, that's something to really recognize before you enter into a relationship with someone.
It is.
Because that means you'll never be satisfied financially, and you'll always feel like you don't have enough. So imagine you come in with your lack mentality and you're married to somebody who believes in abundance, you're going to bump heads, and not because you don't have it. It's because your mindset is totally different.
Yeah. It takes a lot. It takes a lot. I mean, it happens in other aspects. Think about raising kids.
Yeah, buddy.
You know, money or just all kinds of conflicting values. You know, you have to find some way to get on a level playing field or on a the same page when it comes to money. Because if you want to do it this way, you can never align those resources to get anything done, you know, for your family. And when I think about myself, where I came in and, you know, I was pretty much the saver, wanting to, you know, do things, and he was the spender. Like I get more in 2 weeks. So no matter what I do with this, 2 weeks. And I'm like, it does not work that way. And I would tell you, one of the biggest mistakes that we made when we came in, we did not sit down and say, this is what I make. This is what my credit score is. This is what I want to accomplish with money. This is what I have saved. This is what I'm saving going forward. What do we want to do together? We didn't do any of that.
Yeah.
You know, in our mid-20s when we got married, we didn't do any of that. You know, he was making money. I was making probably 60 or 70,000, and he was making, you know, 40 or 50,000, and
yeah,
we like balling out of control. But we didn't sit down and create a long-term strategy or plan or vision for our family finances. And here we are in our 40s where our values have shifted, first of all. So even all of that time, we had conflicting values. That's another thing. There are conflicting priorities. That's another reason why marriages, fail because of money. They don't have aligned priorities.
Yeah.
When it comes to
no,
money.
That's true. Yeah.
That's a big thing too. And like I said, it took us time.
Yeah.
We now are both, our top value is spiritual relationship, ensuring that we're giving and tithing. But financial freedom, like we want time freedom and financial freedom. So we are now working like a well-oiled machine because that's what both of us desire.
Yeah.
We talked about this 15 years ago.
Yeah. No, I agree. And I will say, I can tell you the 2 times that I realized that me and my husband were not on the same page. The first one was when we got ready to buy a house.
Mm-hmm.
So if you ever want to know if you and your significant other are in the same financial space, you're going to make your checks because, the whole, joint account, individual accounts, you'll figure that out because it was whatever works for you.
Yeah.
But when you get ready to make your first major purchase as a couple, you will see where the money resides, like the thoughts about it. Because one of us is going to want this, one of us is going. So then we're going to start talking about budget and affordability. Yep. So if you really want to see, make a car purchase, make a house purchase, and you'll see where you line up. Because for us, when we got ready, we didn't buy, we rented our first house, or at least our first house. I thought that was the craziest idea in the world. I did, because I'm like, we're throwing this money away. But because he wasn't comfortable with making that big financial investment, we leased for 2 years. And so the caveat was, okay, we'll lease with the option to buy. But the fact is that so it wasn't until literally we moved to that space that we actually started talking about money. Like we had talked about it before, it was, you make this, I make this, great. My credits, we had that conversation, but we weren't doing nothing about it. It was just like, here's my credit score. Oh, okay. Well, how did you get that? Oh, ooh. And that was it. We never really talked about how to move forward.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until we made our major purchase, and even now, and I'll say this, when life circumstances change, it's time to go back to the drawing board.
It's time to go back.
Because I was a 6-figure person this time last year.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I am now an entrepreneur. And that's a different, so we had to come back together like, okay, now what's really going to be the plan? Yeah. Do I need to get a part-time job? Do I need to, so every time there's a major life event, it's almost like you got to recalibrate financially.
Absolutely.
And that's something that I'm just learning. Like I have a great husband who loves me. It's like, I believe in you, but his belief in me is going to run out if ain't no checks coming in, So we had to have those conversations, like as long as what you're doing. And speaking of joy is, and not that he doesn't believe in my what it's going to do, but he's like, the reality is the bills are still here. Yep. We still have financial responsibility. We still have goals. And so we've got to be mindful of those even as we shift.
Yes.
And I think that's super important to consider when you're talking money.
Yes. Yes.
So let me ask you this. If you could say one thing to people right now that would encourage a shift in their mindset, what would it be?
I would say figure out what you really want out of life. What do you really want to accomplish with your money? Most people probably look at a financial coach and think that, all we talk about is budgeting. Budgeting is a small piece. It is just a tool to keep you organized.
I like that. Yeah.
Organized. That's it. Like we don't even spend all our time on that. We spend time talking about what it is you want.
Mm-hmm.
What do you want out of life? What visions, what desires has God dropped in your heart? The money are just resources that enable you to live the life that you want to live. But if you're only living to pay bills, I realized as an adult that many of the adults in my life as I was growing up, they were only living to pay bills.
Absolutely.
They didn't have any vision or forethought beyond the next 2 weeks. So my encouragement to you is to think and look beyond the next 2 weeks.
Yes.
About what kind of vision that you have for your life, for your money.
That's good.
And really align your spending, your resources, your time, your energy to that. Really think, are you really happy right now? And I'm not saying money makes you happy.
Yeah.
When I'm just in a space myself personally evaluating, like, this ain't it for me, But really,
no, that's true. That's true. That's so true.
Thinking
so
about,
true.
Is this what God called me to do? Is this the life that He called me to live? Or who am I supposed to serve? Where am I supposed to help? Where am I supposed to give? Where, really get clear on those details about the life that you're living right now.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. And I want to challenge people that financial freedom means different things to different people.
It's different
because so many people think financial freedom is being debt free. Well, if you got a house that you're not paying off no time soon, being debt free is a great goal, but maybe that's not what,
that's just a goal.
That's a goal. And we spend so much time talking about financial freedom, but we never tell people the truth about what it means. Financial freedom is not having to, I look at financial freedom as not having to worry about my money, not having to check my account every 2 days to make sure that all the bills, or here's one I love, not being afraid to set up automatic payments.
Because it's there. I love that.
That's financial freedom. It's not being, because think about how many people are like, I'm not saying, and you won't take the little 10% discount. You will not do it because you're like, because I don't want, and this is, I don't want nobody having access to my account. Why? If you got the money. So for me, financial freedom is more that. It's more saying, I want to be able to know that when I go and when I want to do, I've got the resources available to do it. Now, I may have to make some decisions, but ultimately I know that I'm ready. And so Bridget's here. Bridget said that it's so true, sad but true. We often don't focus on long-term financial planning. We focus on what's due and can we afford it today? That is so true. Oh my gosh, that is so true, that we spend our time in that space, and we spend our time with, I can't afford it, I can't do it, I can't do it. When in actuality, maybe not today, but tomorrow. And then go ahead.
Well, I was going to say,
yes. Go ahead.
That was always the lesson that I was trying to teach my husband. I'm saying not right now.
Yeah.
I'm not saying never. I'm just saying not right now. And I think that we just have to identify what is what is that foremost priority, and just understand, if you are working with me, that is what we focus on, is really creating that vision for your life. And there are things that you all want to do. There are things that you have in your heart that God has placed in your heart, and you're like, oh, I would love to do this, I would love to do that, but you have decided that you don't have the money to do it. You don't have the time to do it. You don't have the resources to do it. You don't have whatever it is, whatever lie you are telling yourself.
Yep, that's it.
Money is just a tool to enable you to do those things. So I would say start there.
Awesome. Well, Emily, tell us how we can reach you, because I know people are going to reach out because now they're going to want some help, and they are excited that you're doing more than a budget, because most people don't like financial planners because or money coaches or because the first thing that we think we're going to hear is budget. So you have freed me and a lot of other people with that. So how can people get in touch with you so that they can continue to follow you and all of that good stuff?
Yeah, so as I mentioned earlier, I really like to hang out on Instagram the most. But so you can connect with me there. Joy has my handle there on the screen. If you are interested in just maybe seeing if coaching is for you, seeing if it's something that you see as a resource that can help you be better with your financial resources, I offer 30-minute free consultation calls where we just kind of get on the phone. We talk about what's going on and see if it's something that I can help you solve. And, if it is something that I can help you solve, I extend an invitation to work together. But you can book that call at bit.ly/chat money with Emily. So bit.ly.
And I just I'm putting it in the chat right now. So you all, it's in the chat right now. So you can click on the link right there and book your call. Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely. And I'm going to put up Emily's email address too. Listen, you got all ways to get in touch with her. Okay.
Yes.
So what I invite you to do. Yes, I invite you. Let me tell you, I'll be honest. So I had my consultation call with Emily. I did. And I'll tell you the truth. The truth is this is where mindset and being in alignment with your significant other comes in, because I was ready and he wasn't. And that a lot of times, so I'm saying that to say, if you're someone who wants it, don't do like I did and not do it because you feel like, okay, there's no alignment. Because in reality, if one of you gets the knowledge, then you can help each other. So that's conviction for me, because I was the one like, okay, well, he's not quite ready, so I'll just wait. And it's been how long, Emily? Don't tell him. But that's.
Let me mention one thing in the same vein of that. Again, that goes back to mindset, and not saying that this is the reason your husband didn't want to, but many of us grew up with this mindset where our parents was like, you don't need nobody in your business.
Yeah, buddy.
So he may have that type of mindset that he's dealing with. No, I don't need nobody in my business. I don't need nobody. You keep your, what goes on in the family stays in the family. So many of us are dealing with that too. I understand. This is new. This is new stuff. Asking for help, and number two, telling your financial business to somebody.
That is so true.
This is that hard work that's required to reframe your mindset around money.
Absolutely. So I invite you guys to follow Emily, and I invite you to really, really follow her, because I do, and I can tell you, much of what she talks about has nothing to do with money. She'll sprinkle a little money in there, but the meat and potatoes are things that will make you really aware. And I appreciate that. So Emily, thank you so very much for being on the Leadership Lunch Break. Hey, everybody, follow Emily, share this, repost it, put it out there, because financial literacy and understanding is truly, truly the key to real leadership. So thank you so much, Emily. Thank all of you who have been here with us today. You can find this on all social media platforms in just a few minutes, and I will see you next week.
Thank you for joining the Leadership Lunch Break. Join us next Thursday at noon Central Standard Time for lunch as we continue our discussions. Follow Speaking of Joy on all social media platforms, or visit our website at www.speakingofjoy.com. That's www.speakingofjoye.com. Until next week.